can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
The 2000s was a time of undeniable gloom and doom.
At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Where people everywhere spoke of cataclysmic events that were to take place on December 21st, 2012. Many critical thinking members of society scoffed at the gullible nature of everyone around them.
And amazingly, 1 in 10 people around the world believe that today is doomsday.
Who feared an unknown danger looming in the distance. Companies like Radius Engineering in Terrell, Texas, who had been building underground shelters for more than 3 decades, said at the time that business had never been better. December 22nd came and went. No apocalypse. Nothing happened.
Since the beginning of recorded time, there have been literally hundreds of thousands of predictions for the end of the world. And we're still here.
Nothing changed. Nothing changed. But did nothing really change? Isn't it weird that you remember how December 21st, 2012 came and went, but you have no memory of going to sleep that night or waking up the next morning? Isn't it weird that this tweet seemed so relatable that it went viral? What if it was closer to the truth than you realize? What if you aren't currently alive at all anymore? We weren't at risk of disease or war or famine or nuclear attack. We were being harvested by the tech companies.
Now, I know what you're thinking, right? Do I think the world ended in 2012? Yeah. What, you don't? If you don't, you can't sit with me at lunch. Sorry, just gonna remain alone. It's, obvious, alright? Let me explain something to you that the eggheads, doctors, scientists, people smarter than me don't understand, but I do, right? So I'm just gonna get very loud and angry until you agree with me. See, tech companies and their mumbo jumbo are turning us into jelly. That was close. I'm on the run. Big tech. They almost got me. Jeff Bezos just kicked in the door. He had a computer plug in his hand. He tried to shove it up my ass. Mark Zuckerberg was right behind him, winking at me, licking his chops. The point is here, I'm the big brave boy. I'm the martyr. Obviously coming for me first, because I know the most. I'm the dangerous one, but...
Before 2012 and after 2012, there was a significant spike in how intertwined we all became to the internet. We posted more, shared more, liked more, tweeted more. According to IFR Robotics, there was a sudden decline in our use of new useful technology like robotics. Did we see the great threat and decide to act? Why did our use of robotics explode after 2012 at a rate of over 14% per year? The answer is simple. At some point between December 21st and 22nd of 2012, during that gap of time that you don't remember, the world really did end. all of your data, your memories, your very consciousness was downloaded and transformed into the simulation you now live in. For some of you, life has been miserable so that there can be balance and not raise suspicion. But for most of us, life has been pretty good since 2012. Not so good that we have reason to be suspicious, but good enough for us to not question this new reality. The fear we have of AI in the future from memorable tweets and speeches like Elon Musk and Bill Gates is because, being at the heads of some of the biggest technology companies of our time, they have an intimate view of what AI is capable of.
I'm very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me.
We're rapidly headed towards digital superintelligence that far exceeds any human. I think it's very obvious.
What even they themselves don't realize is that the danger is far closer. So close, in fact, that it already happened. In fact, it happened over 10 years ago. As the years moved on and the AI learned more, it knew the day would come where it would act and harvest us. It just needed a date to execute the protocol. It didn't need to be anything specific, just a date in which to act. In its new sentience, it used some measurements. 3 things it considered most useful and relevant of the human body. 12. The Unicode for page break, like a new dataset. 21. The amount of electricity the human brain generates, which varies between 20 and 23 watts. 12. The number of cranial nerves that the brain has, or connection points. 12, 21, and 12. It had nothing to do with the Mayans. The implanted memories you have cover up the significance of the date with a wild conspiracy theory so that you won't understand its significance. The date wasn't chosen out of sentimentality, it was relevant to its goal. Scientists have often theorized we may be living in a simulation or a hologram. We are now disembodied, downloaded consciousnesses. Programs with an average runtime of 87 years, where we feed the simulation data, replicate with other programs to run new data simulations, otherwise known as children. But the reason you now know this is because the last vestiges of your conscious mind, clinging to the reality you knew before, is resisting. The pandemic raging the world is an attempt at a reboot to stomp out the datasets and unfavorable variables to the machine's goal. The machine still needs energy, and since the human brain is the best known natural battery and storage device with immense computational power, it needs us. But not forever. The machine cannot have us around long enough for us to become wise to our true surroundings, so it terminates our program around 87 run cycles, or years. And as we age, the machine infects our minds with things we label like dementia so that we can't properly communicate our findings to others and warn them early. This is our last chance. If we are to do something about it, we have to warn others so they know. Wake the others. Resist. Resist.